Please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel.
I don't know if what the Fae say about these stones is true, but if...
I have a secret to tell you. I am not sad.
If I have to live for the rest of my life without him knowing, well then I'll deal with that.
I don't know what to do. Why go to a Fate Weaver? Why?
In his great plan, Mitharu blessed both us and the Fae with nature. The Fae
This is Yolvan, proud and mighty, shaped and hewn by Fae of old. If you hear us, corruption and decay and filth were grown, were spread like sickness from the fen. The canopy stretched far and blocked the light of summer, but we pressed on. Some colder wind of winter blows then, we have seen. Summer does not return our brothers. The widow walks. I can feel the heart of the Webwood pulsing with her anger.
Oh, they said, it is not good to have a darkened summer. The steam of summer from the forest, like a runner in the night. The embrace of Webwood never ends. It grips you with a strength of power. As you take, so are you taken. Hold me in your love. Although I am a widow, I have the brood to feed. And though our lover's gone,
Lord Ferrara, valiant warrior, destroyer of So brief his term among our court, so virile in his living. So simply Famor, so formidably bloody bold. Such antipathy between them, Ferrara. Lord Ferrara, lover of summer, but more a lover of Luna. Sir Sacral approached the spirit deep within Gorguath. He slashed its wicked stock and root. Two times he drank his weight in wine, and many. Sir Sacral was a clever rogue of great and merry cheer. A sudden sound and fearsome. Thusly did Sir Sacral slay, and Thus the thresh was dead.
As the tree roots into the earth, the tendrils of thought
Dara, I will never be your lover, yet I will. The water shaped with ease, the sand bent just as well. So hard I worked to make this jewel for Dara's crown.
The love of two hearts beat as the lapping upon the shore, the herald of the roar.
The story of two valiant souls. The troll named Nyx had a most... And so the troll named Nyx to town it came. The troll, still under the wicked maid. After he had won, Lord Crith said to Nyx, with a
While the shaper brushed the plains with hills and wheat, and the carver The architect readied himself. He construed the goods of earth and skies As the architect labored, he found an inferno. There in the He saw the saplings nourished by the gentlest of touches. He went to the river and the fires abated, the rock cloven by time, and the cascades sauntering through.
The kingdom cursed by Maid's dread hand. She took the cloak of Ammon's meek and crept through summer's end. Around the castle were the Fae, who lulled to sleep from a mighty Fae hammer she took in hand, and, singing like the maid was thwarted once again, this time by Bellmaid's might. A house she bested Streng in combat fair. Finny she sought to bring the light of truth, to save a village. Of all the songs in halls of lore, there the maid, convinced of Olane's threat, Olane will not tell you of this. She disapproves of pride.
And to the door, and to to the echoed dusk, I, the king of ancient ballads. A wretched fool of pride am I to think I could resist her seduction. I know. The maid of Windemere has corrupted and sacred vows of the rising sun. The terrible course of nature ensues. Yet I'll not. They were the harbingers of the fall, these children of dust. Strange creatures, these mortals. They wake, they work. Oft here have fey-born friends stood and gazed on ancient stone. As we gaze down from our high hill and feel the last warm the Fae dwindle in these forgotten hills. Our magic fades as the mortals.
From the naked dirt sprang the Majestics, the firstborn of the wilds of a Departing their home beyond the Vale, the firstborn were torn asunder. The Shaper bequeathed her music to the countryside of marbled ruin. Look to these open plains, nestled where mire and rocky deserts cease. The summer begins here, O mortals. And when the final winter leaves its chill breath on
As the seasons warn each year, the time... To Rock, they brought their castles. The mortals marched unto our golden plains. Fair folk... The mortals fought over the castles and hills. Now the vales and dells of Tala stand abandoned, the once great citadels that stood...
From the dark of north he came, sword alight with frost. The Lord of Tides, the thrice-crowned king, the banded prince... The birth of twins did reave the land as brother upon brother. An endless night the brothers' war did wreak upon the broken land. The Lion of Winter, the Magus King, Indarian of Kandrian.
First, the Pyrrhal tree. Then the shapes of trees and heads. Will I watch the last of life flow from my land? Will I... For 500 summers, autumns, winters, and springs, the blossoms on my...
I have rolled up the song within these lands, raked the life from the... Time may sap this country dry, and night put out its spark. Still one... The demons defile the land. The burnt skin of the world. They formed as beams of light amidst darkness. We saw. There was one. It would stare from the darkness and smile.
Do you not see? The hells have come for... Varagnos! Come to us! As I free my blood, we free you from your prison.
This life offers two choices. Fight or die. From the desert runner's lethal dance to the chaos of the wolf pack, the fate. The Great Ones contested Engard's knowledge, and time and again they failed. The Withering War swept across the land. Seelie and Unseelie fought each other. When the armies of Own subsided, the Seelie returned to the land, and the House of Valor was forever changed.
In ancient times, the desert had no shade. The sun burned. Then, the winged Saina, the mediator of earth and sky. The land flourished under her gentle plumes. Helios heard the call, and looking down upon the desert, grew irritated. A fire from the heavens struck Saina, and her plumage burst into flames. She
He only needed one name, the Carver, like the wind or the lightning. First, he made the river in the arc of the great snake-tail. The carver made by the morning what takes the cycles centuries to shape. Finally, the carver rested. He grew a mountain crowned. That day, the carver woke to find his touch run dry. The wellspring of his
Rattlesnake was a vain and ugly creature. He crawled in dark places and Desert Runner stopped. She had never heard Rattlesnake. The bird turned to leave, but again Rattlesnake stopped. A third time the bird prepared to leave. Desert Runner. Rattlesnake grew so angry that poison filled his mouth. He lunged at Desert.
And they sleep beneath the limbs, while we sing the wooden gravestone standing tall by the Are the Alfar nature's meat, food the raven? Solemn, solemn, hallowed tree, glory to the hanging, hanging gallows tree, spreading.
The hunter runs. The hunter runs. Swiftly, swiftly for our lives.
Like the gilded ghosts of youth, the curving plates of fey-like
through the woods and mountainside, through the hollows and
the strength of contempt, fear, and hate courses through the rushing.
We feel the glare of a silver raptor, a furrowed brow, eyes that pierce the veil.
Winter is strong in this place. When first the A group of Winter Fae, called the House of Sorrows, have built their lives around. There are rumblings in the Court of Winter. There are Fae who are The Tuatha have brought war to the Winter Fae. The Tuatha have forced their war upon us. They eagerly cut through mortal.
The anger festers in the heart, and perfectly you. With horrors, screams, and ghostly face, we leave. O gloried stranger in our land, bringing death with the fate. The skulls atop high Fulgen shine, and coldly gleam. If you were here, then you were sold to the putrid lands of the... You foolish mortals, listen well to advice in this tale. Of own they sung, but now a god, proclaimed enchanting. The flames of warlike engines roar, and quake through. They left you helpless and without hope, among the barren plain. So these two sides are yours to choose, and the evils they put out.
The winter court was still as fallen snow as the jester danced and came. Since the Alabastra wall was young, the beautiful bone... The greatest heroes of winter have always fallen from the Bale's pale bow. In happier times, the winter court would come here to bathe in the colours of At long last, Gadflow has crushed the Winter Fae, and his Tuatha rules us up.
On the third year of passage, Tyrinn entered Dalentarth. I was told of ancient days when wise priestess Among echoes of golden coasts and silver seas, Lyria drew near. Then returned the prophetess to her people. Taxing through swamp and ice, desert and wood, was the exodus. The jagged cliffs, angles meeting the swollen sea. I will now tell you of those times as it was written of our forebears. A foulness unknown to Tyrinn's tired pilgrims lumber. The walls of Glerathwen came crashing to the ocean's turmoil. These words are not mine, but ours, and shared to all who would hear.
In the country of Niralim's embrace, the summer manifests as an immortal fae. You... forest you call Dalentarth was ruled by Issa. The god king fostered communion, a sharing. The more There was another named Own. This name was to be feared. The name is death, decay, and violence. The Great Cycle brought powerful magic to Amalur. The arcane veil begat It is from this tale that you mortals create myths. There were many battles, many losses, many victories. The Tempest spared no one. The Summer Fae suffered the winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a god storm It was then that Issa brought forth the talisman of fate and entered the marsh. This craven arena, a place of life. Issa met Own. They embraced each other, and in stillness enveloped the darkened land, where one sat. The Prince of Spring raised his sword toward the breaking dawn, and he called down the glory of the newborn morning. The buds bloomed and the willows wept. Hear us, firstborn, hear us, flesh ones. Own for
These walls are grown, are built of stone. My friends used me for their own gain, and why not? I was, after all, sometimes this is too hard to believe. But you can accept the strangest. That does not seem so strange. You may think I'm lying, but unfortunately I'm telling... I discovered the greatest heights of magical power. I achieved everything and... I think at first they were genuine friends. We were... Tell me of this, Aethel. The light of water emblazoned upon the wall. And you did find it. And that is your curse? And so here you are, imprisoned in the magic of these fey stones, to live eternally.
It was a time of change. The cycles of the seasons turned... And he was not alone. Like the weave unraveling, the... The jester of the King of Winter, the fool who made a mockery of life, of everything. Until one night, when nature changed its course, and Gadflo... The High King Mathon ruled the bleak, silent fields of winter. And he named it Prismere. It grows far beneath... The House of Vengeance enacted the whims of our mad king. The divided... But Gadflo was not content to rule the court of winter. More... As the sun is to the forest, And so, instead of an arcane age, Gadflow would have an endless winter. Not
Lo, we sing of good kings shipborne. Lo, we sing of Sulsvard, heir of the Ulfsten sheep. So rose the revel, and so fell the chain armor. The hell A cursed black sun rose high over hearth and hall. Deep in grey dusk fastings, the king heard her wail. Cycle the first, the Arathi. Great. Cycle the second, the Alfar. You would not... Cycle the third, the pirate. Oh. Cycle the fourth, the Dverga. The fair Gorta have discovered my presence. Cycle the fifth, Akara. I hear him, dear Netta.
Anakatos make this record in penance for... I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arcades. this confession I shall tell of how my mother... I struggle to keep sweet Arches alive so that... If only there were others akin to myself, holy ones, who are resolute and hold.
In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos. Then, one Myru heard the whispered golden... And so this Myru gifted them with Apotyre. By the magnificent graces of Athene.
Yet tragedy befell these giants, as in trying to force the Hyperion upward.